Greetings, welcome back to the Galley of the Sun. Hey, it's been a while since I've done a recording, and it's a quiet Sunday. We're not doing a big Sunday dinner today. And I tried these a couple weeks ago with the big group, and it was phenomenal. So today, I'm gonna show you my honey teriyaki pork belly bites. They're a lot like pork belly burnt ends as far as the process, but oh man, do they have that sweet brown sugar, savory flavors, very oriental base, so a lot of umami flavor in there. You're gonna love it. So I've got here about a 9.5 pound pork belly. I am going to trim this to square it up and then cut it into 1 1/4 inch squares. And then we're going to put those into this metal tray right here. And we'll get the rub on them, which is a real simple rub. So we'll start out by trimming this down. I know I don't normally show you guys my knife work because you know, I tend to cut myself sometimes, so.
Just a flesh wound.
All right, that's pretty well squared up, don't worry. All these trimmings are gonna get used in another recipe. We try not to waste too much here. All right, so again, like I said, I'm gonna trim these and cut them into about 1 1/2, 1 1/4 inch strips, and then cut them into squares. Put them into this foil pan. Okay, with all the trimming and cutting down, we have probably close to 9 pounds, maybe a little less than 9 pounds of pork belly. The recipe with all the ingredients and measurements is for 4.5 to 5 pounds. So it's perfect, right where you want to be. So we're going to do the rub. And like I said, simple, easy rub. I'm going to start with brown sugar, dried ginger, and granulated garlic. And we're going to mix that up. Man, you can smell that ginger and garlic and brown sugar. It just smells so good. Try to make sure your brown sugar is not too clumpy. It should be pretty fine. You want it to spread pretty evenly on these. I saw a short on YouTube that talked about putting a big marshmallow into your container of brown sugar to keep it from drying out.
Fascinating.
I haven't tried it yet. We have a clay disc that we use, but you know, I can't remember who the video was, but if you tried that, leave a message and let me know. Or let me know what you use to keep your brown sugar from drying out.
Tears.
Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm gonna spread this around the top, toss the bites around, pork belly squares around, just to make sure I get an even coat, and I'll spread this, use all of this rub on these. Now, once you get the top pretty well coated, toss them around, get that brown sugar and spices, try to get it all over it, flip them over. When you use the last of that rub to get the parts that didn't get hit on the first time. There we go. All right, they're nice and well coated. I have our Yoder YS640 preheated to 275 degrees. We're gonna put these up on the upper shelf on the far right, lay them out and give them plenty of room so that the smoke will cover all the sides. And I'm gonna cook them until they're about 170, 175 degrees. You know, time will differ based on what you're cooking in. Your smoker may be different than mine, depending on how well it holds heat and so forth. So we're doing this by temperature, not by time. The pork belly bites are now on the smoker with that fantastic ginger. What did I have on it?
Who knows?
What did I have on it? Ginger, garlic, and brown sugar rub. Not super heavy, light coating. We don't want to overdo it. That brown sugar will actually burn if there's too much on it and get hot. Leave a bitter taste. You don't want that.
No.
That's in there. It's probably going to be an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. Again, we're going to a temperature, 170, 175-ish, before we pull them off and put the glaze on. But to put the glaze on, we need to make the glaze. And the glaze is super simple, right? We start with low sodium soy sauce. Again, measurements down below. If you don't have low sodium, that's okay. Start your glaze and you're gonna get it to a simmer, and then let it simmer for about 5 minutes and then test it. If you're using regular soy, you're probably going to need a little more salt than what is recommended, or a little less salt, probably about half, than what is recommended in the recipe if you're using normal, not low sodium soy sauce. All right, okay, so we started with the soy sauce. Now a hoisin sauce, more brown sugar, sesame oil, garlic powder, honey, oyster sauce, rice wine vinegar, dark soy sauce.
Know the power of the dark side.
And the salt that you're gonna add. Remember, you're using normal soy sauce, not low. Make sure you add this after you've got it simmering for a little while. And then lastly, if you're courageous or you just like your honey teriyaki a little bit spicy, some red pepper flakes. Gonna give it a good mix, get it on the stovetop, and let it simmer, very low simmer, for 10 to 15 minutes. All right, we'll get back to you when the pork belly is ready to come off the smoker and get the glaze on it. See you then. All right, the pork belly bites are averaging right around 170. A little higher as they were on the right-hand side, just a touch lower on the left-hand side, but that's okay. They're ready to come off, and we're gonna get the glaze on them. So, got that wonderful glaze, honey teriyaki glaze that we made. I'm gonna drizzle some in, or as Mike likes to say, de-rizzle.
For shizzle dizzle.
I'm gonna reserve just a little for the end. Now, we're gonna give them a toss. Going back on the smoker, still at 275 in the pan, top shelf, till they're about 190, 195, and then we'll pull them off. We'll see you then. Okay, we're all done. The pork bellies are right at 190, 195. That fat is just at the point of completely rendering out, which means it's still solid, but oh, you squish it and it's gonna ooze the goodness out, because the fat is where the flavor is. So we're gonna bring Mike in, let him give these a try. Pick him a nice piece here with a good amount of meat.
Alrighty.
And fat, and we'll see what he thinks.
Oh, smells amazing.
I know.
Absolutely amazing. The texture is absolutely perfect. Like he said, that fat is right where it needs to be. And the flavor, the tanginess, the sweetness.
It's got that umami with from the soy and everything. Yeah,
Absolutely
I know.
perfect.
They are. So hey, serve this over some nice sticky rice. I make mine. If you want to know how I make mine, I figure out how much water I'm going to use, take 1 cup out, and add a can of coconut milk to it. It gives it a nice, rich flavor, and goes great with any Oriental dish. It'd be great with these with a little bit of red, little bit of green onion. So, if you like what you saw, give us a thumbs up, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment if you try these. If you're interested, hey, just leave us a comment. Until next time, we'll see you at the Galley of the Sun.